All right, we'll continue with today's media availabilities here at Kansas Speedway for the Kansas Lottery 300 with William Byron, driver of the number 9 Vinoy Construction Chevrolet in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. William, you're the top seed in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs heading into the round of 8. Can you talk about how you feel about that, and how you're preparing for Kansas Speedway? I know you won in the Truck Series here last year.
Yeah, it feels good to get back in the race car and be back at the racetrack this weekend, and we're excited for this round. I think these are some really good racetracks for us, and I've only raced here once, so it feels good to come back here and get some laps today, and hopefully be able to get our Chevy dialed in. So hopefully just be able to have a solid weekend and get the stage points we need to kind of get ourselves rolling in the right direction. And I feel like we're going to have a strong round here, so hopefully just keep it going in the right direction.
Outstanding. With that, we'll open up for questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll start here with Todd, Pat, Randy, and Lee, and Holly.
Hey, William, welcome back. How special is this place to you, since it was, the first place you won a NASCAR race and skipped prom for?
It's very special to kind of be able to see the racetrack again and be able to come back to it and remember what that was like. Getting your first win's always really special, and it's hard to kind of break through to get that first one. So it was cool to get that last year and kind of start the stretch of run we had with the wins last year and then this year as well. So hopefully we can just continue that this weekend. I feel like we've been pretty good on the mile-and-a-half racetracks. We need to be a little better, and I think this weekend we're going to be really strong.
Pat, go ahead.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com. Looking at Jimmy's taking the kids to lunch tweet, has he started to take on sort of a mentor role for you, and what does he offer to you, maybe from like a mental aspect?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been able to spend some time together the last few weeks with just some different team things we've been doing in the simulator and some things there. So we were just going out to lunch as a group. We were doing some work in the sim and stuff like that. So it was fun to kind of take that picture. And the funny part was supposed to be being in the car seats. So that was funny. So that was cool to spend time with him and kind of pull from his knowledge and just learn how he was going to approach this weekend. And he feels like, it seems like he's really ready to go. And so we're going to take the same approach and just try and execute this weekend and hopefully have a good weekend.
We'll go to Randy, Lee, Holly, and back to Todd.
Speaking of that, hi, Randy Kovitz from USA Today, Kansas City Star. Speaking, you've only been here once and you won. How important was that to catapult you to the big season last year and now put you in a position where you're going to take over the 24 car next year?
Well, I think it was very important. I mean, kind of, each win is really what gets you the next opportunity. So it's really what got me the ride this year. And then the wins this year have got me the ride in the future. So, that's what we're going to try to do this weekend, is just try and win a playoff race here. And those are really important, hard to get. And if we can do that, it's going to make this round a lot easier. So I feel like, with our cars the way they are, I think we can win. And I think this weekend would be a great time to do that. So we're just going to try and have a good couple practices and try and dial ourselves in and hopefully have a smooth day tomorrow.
Lee, go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. How much emphasis has your team put on getting stage wins and stage points throughout the championship? Because there's such a difference between the best teams, the best cars in your series, more so than Cup. Mm-hmm. Have you guys looked at it when you've prepared your strategy going into the weekend?
I think like Dover, we qualified on the pole and won a stage, finished third, and I think we were first, second, and third in the 3 stages, I guess. So that was really important. I mean, that was a huge buffer. I think we're 5 to 10 points up on the cut line after a couple of things at Kentucky, and then we were 40 points up. So it was a big difference to get those points. Obviously, now you're racing for the top 4 spots, so it's going to be tighter. But I feel like if you can go out and have a dominant day, you're going to gain yourself 20 to 25 points, which is what I've seen on the Cup side. Is like Kevin at Charlotte got that buffer of about 20 points, even with wrecking at Talladega. So I feel like you're going to have to get those points, and it's going to make a huge difference if you need those in the next race.
Holly, go ahead.
Hi, Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. I just wanted to get kind of your take on having the off week. Is that kind of a good thing to get you ready for the big stretch here? Or are you somebody that wishes it was, keeping the momentum going, or just kind of your thoughts on that and kind of going in this week where your head is because of that?
Mm-hmm. I think that we had been on a 20 race stretch, so it had been quite a while since we had a break, but I think you kind of get in that rhythm of going to the racetrack and not worrying about the little details of how you get there or how practice goes. You kind of get in that rhythm of doing things, but I really approach every race. I take it really seriously, and I feel like it's kind of a new challenge each week. So I don't think it's much different coming after an off week. I think you're just a little more refreshed, maybe you're looking at things from a different perspective because you've been able to kind of take a step back and look at what you've done. So I feel like for us, we just want to keep it rolling and execute each race and just prepare ourselves the best we can for the next 3 races, which is what really counts. So this is the part of the season that matters the most, especially this round is what really makes your season. So you got to make sure you're fresh for that.
Todd, then to Randy.
2 things. First, when you won that race here at Kansas a couple years ago, could you have imagined how quickly you would get this opportunity in the Cup Series? Does it seem just insane how quickly you've gotten this chance?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I mean, last year I was sitting up here with Kyle and my crew chief Rudy, and just the excitement of winning the first race was super exciting, and didn't know what was really ahead of us for that year, and didn't know whether I was going to run that truck series again or whatever. So then we got to the 4th or 5th win, and we kind of knew we were going to do something different the next year, and then got the opportunity from Mr. H shortly after that, and really just has made this year a blast and allowed me to go out there and do what I love. So I think I wouldn't have expected it, but it's just a credit to the race teams I've had and also how we've been able to execute and go win. And you got to win, and that's what we've been able to do so far. So hopefully we can just keep doing that.
And what would it mean if you could win it? There's a long way to go, obviously, here in this season, but what would it mean if you could go into the Cup Series as an Xfinity champ? I mean, what kind of momentum would that be for you?
It would be huge. I mean, this is the pressure of these races and how you got to approach them is something you hope to be able to practice. And that's something I hated that I missed out last year, was not having that pressure and that feeling going into Homestead of being in the championship hunt. So I want to get to that point and be able to apply myself and be able to see what I can do in that situation, because that's every racer wants that one shot to have to win at Homestead. So we just want to get to that point in the season and be able to see what we can do from there.
Randy, go ahead.
And just looking ahead to next year, how daunting or intimidating or scary or whatever it is, getting to the 24 and what that car has been, historically?
I mean, it's definitely pressure, but it's exciting. I mean, it's an unbelievable team over there, the resources they have and the people I have to lean on. I spent some time in the off week meeting with Jeff a little bit and talking to him, and it's just incredible the resources I'll have. So very excited for that, and I know it's going to be something you just hope to have that opportunity, your whole life. So it's going to be really cool, and that's what this is about, is just preparing the best I can to handle those situations, and that's what we're trying to do.
We'll wrap up here with Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. You talk about using the simulator. Do you have to fight your teammates for simulator time at this point? And are you doing both Cup car and Xfinity car in the sims?
Yeah, I mean, I've been helping them a little bit, not as much as Alex. Alex is in there a lot and very dedicated to it, to helping them, and that's kind of been his job this year with not being on the racetrack. But for me, I go in there and help them with Cup Series stuff most of the time. Sometimes they give us some things to do for Xfinity, but most of the time it's Cup stuff and kind of seeing what they're going to do for the weekend. So it's a very helpful tool, and just thankful for Chevy's support there to have that for us. I feel like that's a critical part of the sport right now is doing those things. So we're trying to keep developing in it, and I think it's going really well, and I just enjoy being in there and being able to use it.
William, thanks for the time, and good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it.